Our top focus, Delhi, India's capital, has been in the headlines almost every day now for the last 1 month for one thing and one thing alone. The war that has been playing out between the LG and the Aam Aadmi Party. First, the LG alleged corruption against Manish Sisodia and ordered a CBI probe. And since then, it has been a saga of charges and counter-charges, press conference versus press conferences, and dharnas versus dharnas. The latest charge that has been levelled is by the Aam Aadmi Party that is accusing the LG, that is Vinay Saxena, of nepotism. They say in 2017, when he was the Khadi Commission chief, he gave the contract to design a premium lounge to his daughter in Mumbai. The rules were flouted because the KVIC Act of 1961 very clearly says that no employee or officer can give a contract to a family member. Now, the LG in his defense is saying, my daughter did it for free. AAP saying, rules have been flouted, let's sack him. Look at who said what today.
मैं देश के प्रधानमंत्री आदरणीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी से पूछना चाहता हूं कि दिल्ली के लोगों ने आपका क्या बिगाड़ा है? दिल्ली के लोगों ने क्या अपराध किया है? 130 करोड़ की आबादी में एक भी ईमानदार और अच्छा आदमी आपको दिल्ली के उपराज्यपाल के लिए नहीं मिला? मैं प्रधानमंत्री जी से पूछना चाहता हूं, दिल्ली में दागी एलजी क्यों रखा है आपने? दिल्ली से दागी एलजी को हटाना पड़ेगा। दिल्ली के इस दागी एलजी को इस्तीफा देना पड़ेगा।
असल में क्या है कि केजरीवाल साहब रोज न्याय पर पंच रखते हैं। वो लुकआउट नोटिस से लेकर एलजी पर आरोप लगाने की बात को लेकर और वो कि हर विधायक को 20 करोड़ रुपए ऑफर किया, जहाँ सर मनीष सिसोदिया के पास फ़ोन कॉल आया, इस प्रकार का परपंच रोज रहते हैं और उनकी आदत है, झूठ बोलने की उनकी आदत है और झूठ बोलकर बाद में माफ़ी भी मांगते हैं। एलजी साहब ने डिफेमेशन की कार्रवाई शुरू करी है उनके खिलाफ। मैं अपेक्षा करता हूँ केजरीवाल साहब अब भी माफ़ी मांगकर सच बताएंगे और ये जो रोज रोज नया प्रपंच रचना बंद करेंगे और जो असली बात है, असली मुद्दा है, वो है घोटाले का, वो है स्कैम का, उसके बारे में बात करेंगे।
Let me introduce you to our guest this evening. Vinit Goenka is a BJP spokesperson joining us on the show. Tushar Gupta is a senior editor of Swaraj. Ravi Shrivastav is a political analyst who will be speaking on behalf of the Aam Aadmi Party today. Onika Mehrotra is a spokesperson of the Congress Party, and Ashutosh is a political analyst, someone who's been a journalist and someone who has been part of the Aam Aadmi Party as well. Vinit Goenka, given that the Aam Aadmi Party has today made very specific charges against the LG, saying that there was clear nepotism when he was the Khadi Commission chief, this is ground enough for him to be sacked. For example, they are saying Satyendra Jain's daughter, there was a similar charge against Satyendra Jain that his daughter was given an advisory role in the Mohalla clinics. Satyendra Jain said she didn't earn a penny out of it. It was an honorary position. And yet the CBI was sent to inquire into the matter. The case has been closed. No case of wrongdoing was found there. Now tell me, sir, in the fairness of things, should the matter at least be probed or not?
Ram to you, Shreya ji, and everybody on this show and the audience who's listening to us. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar has said, educate and enable citizens. This is a state government which denies basic education to the citizens. I'll give you a case. Academic year.
Sir, I've asked you one question. And now you're doing that classic politician diversionary tactic. Jalebi khila do anchor ko, गोल गोल घुमाकर.
बिल्कुल नहीं, मैं जो आम आदमी पार्टी करती है वैसा मैं नहीं करता हूँ। उन पे ऊपर जो आरोप है मैं बता रहा हूँ, लोगों को पता होना चाहिए कि ये किस मुख से बोल रहे हैं और कौन से मुंह से बोल रहे हैं। और आप तो बहुत सुलझी हुई और समझदार एंकर है, आपसे मैं क्या राजनीति करूंगा। बट मेरा एक छोटा सा ये है, what I learned from Bharat Ratna Baba Saheb Ambedkar was to enable people, and I'll give you your own house's publication, Times of India's 1st February 2019 report, which has been there. Academic year 2017-18, 1,02,854 students were denied re-admission in Delhi public schools, Delhi government's school. Those crime of the students were they had failed and they were denied that. Now, their future is been in dark because they were forced to go out of the regular education system and go into open education system. Then,
Mr. Goenka, Mr. Goenka.
Yeah, give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute.
Mr. Goenka, I have asked you a very clear, specific question.
These people
The charges that have been made against the LG, are they baseless or do they have any basis on which at least an investigation should be launched?
You want us to react on that? I'm sure you understand the gravity of the situation where lakhs of students have been thrown out of the educational system. You will understand the gravity.
The situation is grave as well if there are charges. Mr. Goenka, आप सवाल का जवाब नहीं दे रहे हैं. That's not fair. That's not fair. You're a BJP spokesperson. You know what the subject of the debate is.
ये सारी चीज कर रहे हैं. हम इस पे क्यों रिएक्ट करें? ये तो डाइवर्जनरी टैक्टिक्स है. These are the people who would throw stone, defamatory बातें करेंगे, फिर माफी मांगेंगे. जेटली जी हो, नितिन जी, उनसे माफी मांगेंगे. ये वो लोग हैं जो अन्ना जी को धोखा देते हैं, लेकिन उसके बाद में लोगों को दारू बांटते हैं. चीफ मिनिस्टर, डिप्टी चीफ मिनिस्टर जो है, वो पीपीटी प्रेजेंटेशन करता है, इक्विटेबल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ लिकर, but never talks about education.
Ravi Shrivastav.
All the LG. See, these are the people who had problem with,
एक मिनट. Just a minute.
I think.
Just a minute.
I think this has become very typical of the BJP spokespersons to talk everything under the earth, but not on the subject.
नहीं sir, crime क्या है?
Please allow me now. I listened to you very patiently. Every government appointment or constitutional post, I have been a government officer for 30 years. I know it undergoes the CVC clearance. It has to have a CVC clearance that there have been no charges against him. Now, this kind of appointment of LG at Delhi, was the clearance given by the CVC? If not, he was a chairman of a public sector undertaking, the KVIC. And the KVIC, whatever he did, you rightly said it, that the same charges were against Satyendra Jain. Inquiry was conducted, he was cleared. Now, similar thing should happen here. I think AAP is demanding something very fair treatment.
No, but where is the criminality? Vinit Goenka is asking, where is the criminality? And I am going to ask you, where is the criminality? Nepotism charges, I understand. But you can't send a man on nepotism charges, na, sir?
No, we are not sending anybody.
No, the Aam Aadmi Party is saying sack him. He needs to step down.
Aam Aadmi Party is demanding that since he has a shady past, he should be sacked. First of all, he should have not been appointed. The very basic thing is he should have not been appointed. And the second charge, I hope you are aware, couple of days before, that his various branches converted the demonetized note, and that affidavit is there on record. Now, what I am saying is, these are all perceptions being created. Politics is about perception, creating the narratives. The narratives are being created. Last 15 days, this journey has traveled a lot. It started from excise policy, it went to New York Times, it went to classroom, it went to the Gaurav Bhatia, going to the schools and then running away from there, and now it has come out down to the LG. The point is that what is the basic? Nothing. This is only to harass Aam Aadmi Party. And the moment Gujarat elections are announced, whole inquiry, everything will go into cold storage. You watch my words, mark my words. Nothing will remain there. Because this is only to create a perception that Aam Aadmi Party is as corrupt as we are. This is what they are driving at. हम भी ऐसे ही हैं, ये भी ऐसे ही हैं. This is what they are only, these stories are being made on excise policy.
Ashutosh, if that is the attempt of the BJP, have they succeeded? Ashutosh, can you hear me? Ashutosh, can you hear me? Okay, you know what we'll do? We'll check Ashutosh's audio. Tushar Gupta, would you want to come in here? Look at the charges that have been made against the LG by the Aam Aadmi Party in the last couple of days. The first charge that came was, here is a guy who was the head, the chairperson of the Khadi Commission, and it was under his watch that during demonetization, black money was converted into white, and he's directly in charge. Now, of course, the LG has clarified and said that, hey, I was the one who asked for a CBI inquiry. Why are you putting the blame on me? But the second charge that is now coming in by way of the Aam Aadmi Party has been on his daughter. The fact that he favored his daughter, gave her a contract to design a premier lounge in Mumbai. Is it enough to say that she didn't get a penny out of it? So where is the wrongdoing? The wrongdoing is that there is a KVIC Act of 1961 which very clearly says what it says. That bhai,
Good
you
evening,
can't give
Shreya.
any contract to any rishtedar.
Correct. Good evening, Shreya.
Good
Thank
evening.
you for having me on your show. See, 2-3 things. First, the KVIC has issued a letter stating that the figures being cited by the Aam Aadmi Party are absolutely bogus. That's 27.3 lakhs. It's not 80 crores. And anyway, I mean, any journalist with this sort would know that a premium lounge worth
Sure.
80 crores is just extravagant expenditure. Nevertheless, Shreya, the problem is there is a crisis of credibility when it comes to Arvind Kejriwal. And for an outsider who has no political ideology or a political party belonging, every time Arvind Kejriwal attempts to expose someone, it's more of a rhetoric and distraction. Currently, from the excise policy, look, this is the same person who said my life is in danger from my own security officials. When the excise policy was being held by his party members, it was all good. It was no cartelization, no problem. One order of investigation and suddenly the excise policy is withdrawn. How is that? How can you hail a policy as transparent, best for the people, good for revenue for the government one day and withdraw it the next day only after an investigation is ordered? Number 3, there is an operation later being called out that our MLAs are being called for. They are being offered 20 CR. There is an 800 crore scam going on, and that is why there is inflation. How can you correlate something this perceptive to something as real as inflation, which is caused by external factors? Then you come to the LG. There is a 1400 crore scam. He did some corruption during demonetization. The CBI has already investigated that case. It has already been settled. And now the KVIC. The problem, Shreya, is Kejriwal has no real answers to the real questions being asked of him. I say if he has built 500 new schools, upload the geolocation of the 500 new schools, not the ones he's renovated. If you've upgraded certain schools, make the tenders public that were offered to upgrade those schools, say the boards, the classrooms, whatever. The problem is people want obvious answers from him. They are not questioning his leadership. His government is pretty secure in Delhi. His government is very secure in Punjab. The people are asking some very simple questions that you had your freebie promise, you had your education promise, you had your excise policy promise. Where are the answers? But what do we get in return? Rhetoric and distraction. Make no mistake, Shreya. Tomorrow he'll come up with another creative story about how someone else in the LG office indulged in some scam 6 years ago. And last point, Shreya, last point. He says the demonetization scam happened in 2016. 6 years since demonetization, almost 6 years. Why was the Aam Aadmi Party quiet for 6 years? Why were they quiet when he was installed as the LG? Why were they quiet before the investigation into the excise policy was ordered? It's all a matter of timing as well. That's all.
Ravi Shrivastav, answer that. A, these are diversionary tactics. And if you thought the LG had a shady past, why didn't you raise a hue and cry when he was appointed? Why are you raising a hue and cry only after he has started opening one corruption case after another on you?
I think once the things surfaced, these questions were asked that Aam Aadmi Party does not dwell into the past of the government appointees. Let it be. But my point is here is that why ask the questions on the education policy, which has not been appreciated only within the country, and even globally. Even globally, the people have come, Trump and all those people, they have come and seen that as far as the schools are concerned, the BJP I was on that debate in the Aaj Tak when Mr. Gaurav Bhatia threw that challenge, which Saurabh Bharadwaj readily accepted. He said that come tomorrow morning, I'll show you. Mr. Bhatia did not enter the school even. He did not enter the school and ran away from outside itself. So it means that whatever charges these people are making are bogus. Let there be inquiry. Who is this? Manish Sisodia, the first thing he said is that I am welcoming the inquiry. You come, you raid my house 14 hours, see the Elmiras and everything, and find out something if it is
Vinit Goenka, what's the problem in an inquiry? What's the problem in an inquiry? If Satyendra Jain's daughter could face the heat and questions from the CBI over a similar charge, and the charge against her was that her father had appointed her as an honorary member of the Mohalla committee in an advisory role where she wasn't drawing any salary, yet the CBI, which is so burdened, we are told, had the time to open a case against her and question her and then subsequently close it. If she can be questioned in a similar case, then why can the current LG's daughter not be questioned? Why should he not be questioned? Why should the Mamla not be investigated? Is it because, there are different rules for daughters of different people in this country?
good you asked this question, and I would like to congratulate Ravi Shrivastav ji, which I rarely do. Even when he is a proxy representative of Aam Aadmi Party, not an official representative, but he's trying his best to defend them. In this situation where they are into total darkness, baseless, misleading, diversionary tactics, and unsubstantiated blames are been old techniques of this Mr. Kejriwal. Now, they talked about people and why they are in there. They have to answer who is this Tahir, who is this Somnath Bharti, who is this Amanatullah Khan.
Answer my question now.
I am answering your question, ma'am. Liquor broker, Mr. Shishodia, who does all this. They are trying to hide this particular part. Which government will increase commission of a retailer from 2% to 12%, 600% jump? Nowhere on the earth. So this policy will be criticized everywhere on the earth where 2% to 12% commission was jumped. Nowhere in the world the dry days will be reduced so that they become mockery of a dry day.
Mr. Goenka, you're not answering my question.
And all these
I'm giving you ample time, then you will say you didn't let me speak. I have asked you such a pointed question. I'm asking you, shouldn't, given the facts that are in the public domain right now.
4,000 vacancies are vacant of
Sir,
teachers.
given the facts that are out in the public domain, just answer my question now. Prima facie, should an inquiry be instituted or not against the LG?
In Delhi, there are 1,027 schools, out of which 745 don't have principal.
Okay.
They are not talking about that.
Shreya,
He's talking about past of somebody. He has to answer that how much money they have got from liquor barons.
Go ahead, go ahead.
But why did they increase the commission? They have to answer this question. Why they have increased the
Tushar wants to come in here. 1 minute. Tushar wants to come in here. Tushar, go ahead. Onika, I'll come to you. I'll come to you, Onika.
हम जवाब देते हैं कि उन्होंने क्राइम किया, उनको जवाब देना है.
नहीं तो यहाँ तो बोल रहे हैं कि एलजी ने भी नेपोटिज्म का क्राइम क्रिएट किया है, तो जवाब तो देना पड़ेगा ना. ये थोड़ी ना कि जवाब सिर्फ एक पार्टी से मांगो और दूसरी पार्टी से नहीं मांगो. भाई हम वो चैनल नहीं है. हाँ तुषार, go ahead.
Shreya, see, a simple thing. There is nothing wrong in inquiry. I give it to you. There is nothing wrong in inquiry. Fine. But then why is the Aam Aadmi Party the first one to cry hue and sorrow when an investigation is ordered into their affairs? The Aam Aadmi Party is the first party to say sack the LG because there are allegations of corruption on him. Allegations. The allegations which are being made by the Aam Aadmi Party and no government agency. If they want to hold the LG by those standards, why not the same standards for Manish Sisodia, whose excise policy has actually been withdrawn? So why not those standards? Number two, Ravi Shrivastav says that the education policy of the Aam Aadmi Party has been hailed globally in the New York Times and wherever. I say very good. Then make the information about the schools you built public. Update the geolocations, update the tenders on websites about the schools you renovated, what chalks, what dusters, what desks, what chairs, what ACs,
Tushar,
what boardrooms, what you got.
Tushar,
Why can't you make the information available for the common public?
Tushar, but charges against Manish Sisodia have not been proven. Everything is in the category of alleged.
Shreya,
everything is in the category of alleged so far. That is the honest truth, right? And there have been CBI raids at his residence, his ancestral property, his locker has been raided. Has anything been found? No. So, as far as Manish Sisodia and the charges against him are concerned, even all of them are in the realm of alleged. Similarly with the LG.
Investigation is going on. Investigation is going on. I'm not saying the investigation has concluded, but the Aam Aadmi Party wants to order an investigation on the LG. They want one. Okay. But then they say the LG should resign pending investigation. I am asking, if that is your case, why not hold the Manish Sisodia by the same yardstick?
Good point.
That's my only question.
Very good point. Very good point. Please respond. Ravi ji, thoda sa short rakhiega. Please respond.
See, first of all, as far as Manish Sisodia is concerned, the inquiry has already almost concluded. You have gone to his residence, you have raided his house, you have seen all papers, you have seen everything. This is not like that.
Inquiries in this country are never concluded that quickly, Mr. Ravi Shrivastav. You know this and I know this.
Yes, they are kept pending till the elections get over, and after that, the new inquiry starts. It's like that. That's the procedure. So what I am saying is that he is already through with it. He has shown it. Let the LG also prove himself that he did it or not. Whatever charges against him.
No, then why do you want him to step down? If you want him to step down, then the Aam Aadmi Party should have gotten Manish Sisodia also to step down. If that is the standard you are going to hold everyone in public life to. Onika Mehrotra is the spokesperson of the Congress Party, and very patiently she has been waiting, listening to all you gentlemen. And I don't want her to accuse me of not giving her chance to speak. Onika, where does the Congress party stand in all of this?
Okay, Shreya ji, you see, BJP has fallen into its own trap. Now, whatever gimmicks, tactics they were doing, it has been merrily and smartly copied by the men in blue. You always see them in blue and the red shirt that they wear. And unfortunately, BJP doesn't know how to react because it's their own gimmicks. One came as a proclaimed chokidar and one claimed as a kattar imandar. Now see where they have landed politics into the lowest of low, ma'am. You know, you have heard that song, Luka Chupi Bahut Hui, Ab To Bahar Aaja, Sanj Hui Mujhe Teri Fikar. It seems both of them are playing this game, hide and seek. Enough, ma'am, Shreya ma'am, there are matters like unemployment, price rise, GST. The entire country is reeling under this pressure. But no, of no use, because they love to deny, digress, lie, and then justify. This is the game plan of both the parties, and hence we say A and B plan are set. Now, this chap, Kejriwal sir, said, Desh mein to Modi ji, Delhi mein Kejriwal. Now that they know the power game has moved from Delhi to Punjab, and he sees twinkle in his eyes that he can capture Gujarat. So now the Chacha Bhatija role is changing, ma'am. Now he wants to move up, unfortunately, but with the same game plan as BJP. But what are the answers they're going to reply to the country? For heaven's sake, it's 1 minute, sir. I know you're impatient to reply, but what is the answer they're going to give to the country? No reply for the employment, 2 lakh naukriyan and so on and so forth. Teachers vacancy have been lying vacant, but no, that is not the concern.
Okay.
The concern is with each other. This is the gimmicks that they're playing.
Okay.
One
Okay.
or the other.
Okay. Ashutosh ji, would you want to come in here? I think we've had a bit...
Shreya. Quite rich of a party whose leadership is embroiled in the National Herald case investigation and whose party workers hold a satyagraha, which is another word for violence on the streets, to talk about power play in Delhi.
We are not denying it. My friend, we are challenging it. We are there on the road for it. Don't worry. We are accepting it. National Herald ka hai. Aap kariye inquiry.
How are you accepting the ED investigation by causing violence on the Delhi streets,
Look at
ma'am?
the conviction rate. My dear friend,
Ma'am, how are you accepting the ED investigation by causing disturbance to routine commuters on Delhi roads?
Staff of Assam becomes doodh ka dhula hua when it comes to your party. Hemant Biswas, you send ED. What will we say? We will say vindictive politics. Will we not, sir? Or you will not allow us to say that also.
Okay.
Jawan band kar deje aapke raj mein. Then nobody can speak. Is it? Are you going to send us to jail?
Ashutosh ji, come in here. Ashutosh ji, come in here. I don't know who's going to jail next, but I want to ask you this. What do you peg this daily sniping between the Aam Aadmi Party and the LG to? Is this just in the run-up to the Gujarat elections? Because this sniping between the LGs of Delhi and the Aam Aadmi Party have continued irrespective of who the LG has been. In this case, it is Vinay Saxena. Pehle, you know, we had Mr. Baijal, then we had Mr. Jung. The relationship was always very, tricky, to say the least.
Shreya, you call it tricky, I call it toxic.
Okay, yeah.
This is nothing new. I think this the confrontation and the conflict between the Delhi Chief Minister, the Delhi government led by Aam Aadmi Party and the Lieutenant Governor has been as toxic, as bitter and as tricky as first time they came into the government with 67 seats in 2015 onwards. You remember how the fight went on between the Najib Jung and Arvind Kejriwal. And then with Arvind Kejriwal and the Anil Baijal, and now Mr. Vinay Saxena. But the only difference is that Vinay Saxena seems to be more political, whereas Najib Jung and Anil Baijal were more of bureaucrats. They were ex-IS officers. So obviously their style of functioning and the Vinay Saxena style of functioning is very, very different. Vinay Saxena, I think he has come with a particular purpose, and since he has assumed charge, his agenda is very, very clear, and I'm using the word agenda deliberately because look at within a month he has ordered a CBI inquiry into the liquor scam. Then he has ordered inquiry into the schools. Then there is other kind of inquiries are also going on. So if Aam Aadmi Party government has been doing so badly and there has been so many cases, then by now Aam Aadmi Party should be dismissed, because if the government, if the LG and the Chief Minister, they are fighting with each other, obviously the government cannot be run according to the Constitution. So there seems to be a constitutional breakdown in that sense. But look at the track record of the Lieutenant Governors and the central government. Since 2015 onwards, more than two dozen MLAs were accused of something, FIR with laws against them. They were put behind the bar and finally came out. Hardly anybody was convicted. Their office was even ordered to be evicted. So what happened to that? So I think this is the entire exercise is for the two reasons. One, the Delhi municipal election, that is MCD elections, is round the corner, which was supposed to happen just after the Punjab election. It did not happen, and now it has been postponed indefinitely. And this is also because Aam Aadmi Party's entry into the Gujarat. So I think this is more than a scam and the scandal. This is more of a political battle between the two, BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party, and both want to score over each other.
Okay, and this is a political battle you see. Is it you're saying the man that is the LG of the moment, yes, Mr. Goenka, I'll let you come in, has come in with a particular agenda and a particular mandate. That mandate, you're saying very clearly, is to discredit the Aam Aadmi Party. What is that one thing everyone in Delhi identifies with the Aam Aadmi Party? That this is a party that will fight corruption tooth and nail. Has the BJP, via the LG, managed, in your view, to dent that image at least?
See, there are certain images which cannot be dented. Even if if anybody talks about the Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, if anybody says he's not a patriot, who's going to believe this? If anybody says he's corrupt, who's going to believe it? Nobody. So Aam Aadmi Party, if you want to dent his image because Aam Aadmi Party is a corrupt party, I don't think anybody is going to believe. Even if you put the entire cabinet into the jail, the people are not believing it. And this is not the first time that the corruption charges has been. Let me complete. This is not the first time that the corruption charges has been leveled against Aam Aadmi Party. Since 2015 onward, 2015 onwards, when they got 67 seats, there have been several attempts by several agencies and the several political leaders to paint Aam Aadmi Party government as a corrupt. You remember how the chief minister's office was raided, how his principal secretary was arrested. What happened to that case? Nothing has happened till this. No conviction. So and despite that, they got 62 seats in Delhi, and BJP got only 8 seats. And remember, BJP is out of power in assembly since 1998. There has to be something wrong with the local BJP leadership. They always score in the parliamentary elections. But in assembly elections, I think the leadership is so inept that Aam Aadmi Party must be doing something well. A party which was formed in 2012. They got 28 seats in 2013. They got 16 seats in 2015. They got 62 seats in 2020. Where are the BJP figures in this? BJP must be pursuing some steps, doing something strategically wrong. I think instead of attacking Aam Aadmi Party on the corruption issues, if they find some other reason to put them down, I think that would serve better. You remember what Mr. Modi has said in 2015? Aam Aadmi Party is a Naxals, AK-49. What happened? They got 67 seats.
Mr. Goenka,
the way they are dealing with the Aam Aadmi Party.
Mr. Goenka, you've put up your hand. Ashutosh, Mr. Goenka wants to respond to you. He's putting up his hand, and so is everyone actually. Everyone wants to respond to what you have said. I'll go with Mr. Goenka. Mr. Goenka, it seems what Ashutosh is suggesting is that instead of cooking up corruption charges against the Aam Aadmi Party and trying to discredit them, why don't you fix your Delhi leadership? Maybe that will help you get Delhi. This is what Mr. Ashutosh is saying.
So I would like to respond to everybody who has spoken before me one by one.
नहीं sir, पहले आप सिर्फ Mr. Ashutosh को respond करिए, because the others want to come in as well. Please respond to what Ashutosh is saying.
No, Ashutosh ji is an independent commentator, does not hold much ground here. Let me first bring to your audience the real crux of the problem. Real crux of the problem is that
how does he not hold much ground here? How does he not hold much ground here?
What is the real problem?
He's a voter of Delhi.
Yeah, of course.
He's been with the Aam Aadmi Party.
I respect him as
he understands the politics of Delhi. He's been the editor of a mainstream mainstream network.
I respect him as a
Yeah,
former AAP volunteer also. But again, एक कहावत है हिंदी में.
एक मिनट आशुतोष जी क्या बोल रहे हैं आप? I can't hear you.
I'm saying I'm thankful to Mr. Goenka that he's not calling me names as usually the BJP spokesperson call me names and attack personally. So I'm very thankful to him.
Okay, Mr. Goenka, go ahead. Mr. Goenka is usually very polite and civilized. We'll get that to him.
जब से मैं हाफ पैंट पहनता था तब से मैं आपको
I'm not that old, my dear friend.
नहीं मैं तो बहुत जब मतलब आई मीन वाचिंग यू फ्रॉम माय नर्सरी डेज बट एनीवे सर एक हिंदी में कहावत है इधर उधर की बात ना करिए पता काफिला क्यों लूटा किसने लूटा कैसे लूटा श्रेया जी द क्रक्स ऑफ द मैटर इज दैट 1 lakh I will repeat this again 1,2854 students were thrown out of the education system.
Mr. Goenka, you said this 3 times before.
Please be complete. No, madam. What will happen to these students? And secondly, let me tell you, this government, they have made sure that principals are not appointed. See, you will like to bring your focus back. Ashutosh will bring his discussion. Madam from Congress will not.
Yeah, can I come in, please?
लेकिन वो सारी बातें करेंगे लेकिन क्रक्स है कि
Okay, I think we've lost your audio. I swear this is not deliberate. So for a moment, don't think that this is. I'll let you complete
Shreya,
your point. But Tushar, okay, Ravi ji, go ahead and then Tushar.
Yeah. See, first of all, what BJP does not want are the good schools. They have closed 72,000 schools, leading with the UP and Gujarat. They want only private schools to prosper. So I think Ashutosh, that point is very correct. That the model which the Delhi government has put up of the health and education, I think that is unbeatable. Irrespective of the efforts they want to make, they will not be able to demolish that. It is working very well and Delhiites are liking it. So the point here is that whatever they want to allege, they can allege. And their allegations have got no meaning at all unless the inquiry gets completed and the truth comes out. Okay. So as many allegations they want to make, their choice. And they have closed the schools at the cost of private schools. They want private schools to prosper.
Tushar
While
Gupta.
the Delhi government wants the Delhi.
Can I come in, Shreya?
Tushar Gupta, come in here. Come in here.
Can I come back? My audio is back now.
Those 2 points. One about the schools.
एक minute. Let Tushar Gupta come in. Tushar Gupta,
You know, in 2018, there was an analysis I wrote back in 2018. I just opened that for my benefit. In India, across India, there were more than 100,000 schools with 20 or less students. The problem in these schools was not of quality or of teaching, but there was not enough strength. And so a lot of schools were put together. I can share the numbers with anyone who wants them. More than 100,000 schools were shut across the country. Number 2, Ravi ji, ek second. Ravi ji, ek second.
You show the schools of Madhya Pradesh, show the schools of Gujarat, show the schools of UP, show us. You bring out a narrative, no? Who is stopping you? Don't say
Who's stopping
the Delhi
Arvind
schools are not
Kejriwal?
good.
I don't know
You
why
bring
you get
out.
so rattled.
You show it.
Sir, do you
You show it.
understand? Sir, with your age and wisdom, do you understand it's not profitable to run government schools which have less than 20 students across the entire school?
Come
Or are you
on.
going to
The
let it free?
lakhs of students depend upon the government schools. Lakhs of
Sir,
students
are you
depend upon the
understanding
government
what I'm
schools.
Okay, I think
They
we've
cannot
spoken
afford to
about
go to
Delhi's
those
education
private
enough.
schools.
I think we've spoken about Delhi's education enough. This debate originally is on the Lieutenant Governor. So everyone has done diversionary tactics today. The Aam Aadmi Party has also done diversionary tactics today, and the BJP has also done diversionary tactics today, and even the Congress Party.
Shreya, one last point.
Huh.
You know, Ravi Shrivastav with his age should allow others to speak and not interrupt. Nevertheless, Ashutosh here says that the BJP should not discredit the Aam Aadmi Party. My simple response is the Aam Aadmi Party is discrediting itself. The LG had no role in formulating the excise policy. The LG had no role in deciding the retailers of that excise policy. The LG had no role in withdrawing that excise policy. Everyone is asking that one simple question. If your excise policy was so good, without any corruption, without any problems, why withdraw it? And there is no answer to it. No absolute answer to it.
Ashutosh?
Shreya, can I just come in for one line? My audio was stopped that time.
Ashutosh wants to respond, and then I'll come to you. Yes.
Shreya, this is the CSDS survey before me. And the CSDS survey is supposed to be a quite credible survey in this country. It's not. And they have done it in January 2022. They have spoken to the parents of the children whose kids were attending government school. 80% of the parents have said 80% that the government school has improved in the last two to 3 years in Delhi. Only 7% has said it has deteriorated. No change, 12%. No opinion, 1%. That's why I'm saying, see, the Aam Aadmi Party wants discussion to be held on the education policy. They don't want
Not
to
on the
discuss
excise policy.
They don't want
Can
to
I come
discuss.
in, Shreya, please? See,
They
I've been
don't want
trying
to
to
discuss.
speak.
And you remember what happened on the day one? Day one, Aam Aadmi Party very clearly, very smartly came out with the New York Times, and the BJP held a press conference discrediting that report itself. That's what the Aam Aadmi Party wanted, because they don't want the whole debate and discussion to be focused on the liquor policy. That's a weak point. But the BJP in
So
Delhi has been
Ashutosh agrees that's a weak point.
policy.
Of course, he's
No,
agreeing it's a weak point.
You agree that's a weak
I'm
point.
saying-
That's a point
I'm
worth
saying-
questioning, right?
No, yeah, I agree with Tushar when Tushar says that why Aam Aadmi Party withdrew that policy. They withdrew that policy. They withdrew that policy. That means they
Shreya
are
ji,
on the weak.
I think
If they
I
are
should
on the
respond
weak,
and answer, please.
the attack should be on the liquor policy, not on the education policy. But they successfully changed the agenda. They had gone to the
It's
extent
not
of
like
saying that
everything
Aam
is
Aadmi
right
Party
with
is
the
trying to
education
defend
policy
that
either,
Aam Aadmi
Ashutosh
Party-
ji.
No, I'm not saying. I'm only saying this thing, only saying that if you have to attack Arvind Kejriwal, you should attack where it hurts him most. You are not hurting, you are hurting where he wants you to attack.
Okay. Meanwhile, there is a counter-attack underway by the Aam Aadmi Party as well. It's not like they're sitting quietly amongst all these corruption charges and counter-charges that are being made. They have made two very serious charges against Delhi's Lieutenant Governor. Now, I'm going to give 10 seconds to my panelists, and not all of them. But Vinit Goenka, I'm going to give you 15 seconds because you've been trying to speak for a while. Please help me understand that if there are these charges that have been leveled against the Lieutenant Governor of the national capital, and these are serious charges, and on the face of it, they look like they need to be investigated, what is the harm in investigating them?
So I was trying to speak that time and later on also, and which was interrupted, or maybe there was some fault. I keep hearing from Ravi and others about the international newspaper, but I'm sure Times of India is a very respectful newspaper, and Shreya, you would also agree with that. And these reports are from Times of India. And if they are casting aspirations on this, then it's your own organization, you have to defend that. If 38,000 students have been pushed out in 10th standard, I see that as to be bigger crime than it's because you have put their entire future in darkness. If 9,800 students have been pushed out of 12th standard in one academic year.
So today, no one wants to talk about the LG.
No, it is about future of lakhs of students.
This panel has given the LG a clean sheet.
Gruesome, ma'am. It's gruesome. And then you push the same people. So drop out karo, drink pilao, defamatory karo, derogatory bolo, और उसके बाद में पूरे generation का future को danger में डाल दो. यही तो धंधा है इनका.
Acha. 10 seconds, Ravi Shrivastav. I'll let you respond, and I have to wrap the debate after that because I have an interesting segment coming up after this as well. Please go ahead.
Very good. I just want to say I am very happy and compliment your channel that you are debating towards education policy today. Please debate tomorrow the health policy as well. Then discuss about the Bijli, discuss about the Pani, so that the BJP goes completely on the back foot because they have nothing to say.
Today, Ashutosh, you said that the LG has been appointed with an agenda on this panel. Everyone has come with their own agenda. No one wants to talk about the mudda. सब अपने agenda पे लगे हुए हैं.
Hide behind the garb of international
UP,
and Times of India for me is a more reputable than international newspaper.
Acha, time.
My friend,
Sir, it's 8:40.
Government schools are not profitable.
Shreya,
Come on, sir. Change your mindset.
As Ravi
Government
Shrivastav
schools
is about the Aam
cannot be
Aadmi Party, there
profitable.
would be no sad people in this world.
Government schools cannot be profitable, sir. The
Okay.
government is not into
We leave it. We leave it.
Agree that.
This was supposed to be,
Educate people.
gentlemen and ladies, this was supposed to be a debate over the LG and the allegations being made against the LG, but no one on my panel today, it seems, wanted to speak about it. Everyone just wanted to speak about the education policy. Maybe tomorrow we should do a debate on that. We'll leave it there for the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for your time here on Mirror Now. Thank you very much indeed. It was good speaking to you, though none of you spoke on the subject. Thank you very much. Now, it was a